But without further ado, we are at Lindsay Watson, and Lindsay is a seasoned professional in human resources and business development and public speaking. She brings over 17 years of experience in staffing, recruiting, relationship management, and career coaching. Let's get a loud round of applause for Lindsay.
Good afternoon. This is the first time I stand between a group of people in happy hour. I feel very honored. So, we are going to talk about empowering diversity by navigating the hiring, retention, and empathetic outplacement process. I'm so excited to be here. We have a lot of stats and numbers, but don't worry about having to pay attention to all of them. We like to work in forms of 3. So hiring, retention, and empathetic outplacement. This is actually for us, A to Z, what we do. We work with companies to help them attract, hire, retain, and in the event that they have to let people go, do so empathetically. We've been around for over 12 years. We've been headquartered in the Lehigh Valley for 11 years. We have a very diverse staff, as you can see, and our career coaching services right now, we are at a 100% success rate. Now, one thing we've learned being in a community, that local matters. And so part of our mission is to make sure that we help people stay in the Lehigh Valley as much as possible, even if they lose jobs. Now, whether you are in the valley or not, it doesn't matter. Focusing on your community matters. So how do we get started? Diversity. We all know the terms, but did you know that companies are 33% more profitable with diverse staff? Show of hands if you knew that. Okay, so I've got maybe about 10% of the folks here. So we've got some work to do. 1.7 times more likely to have innovation leaders. We see the awards, innovation leaders, right? Women and men winning all different kinds of awards, but it starts with having an inclusive culture. How do you do that? How do you start? You start with hiring practices that are unbiased. If you do not know how to do that, don't worry, we do. Okay, we focus on helping companies see a 90% higher employee engagement rate, which means not only are they hired, but they're gonna wanna stay. Now, when it comes to inclusive recruitment strategies, you really wanna start with having diverse recruitment panels. How many here are in charge of hiring? Okay, good. So you want people that look a little bit like all of us, right from the get-go. This is important because when you have leaders that focus on having recruitment processes that are diverse, then your leadership is going to be diverse, and I'll be able to see someone that looks like me, and you'll be able to see someone that looks like you, and at the end of the day, it really still matters so much. Talking about inclusion, we all want to belong, but especially your employees, they want to feel like they belong, and if they do, then you're going to be able to reduce turnover by 59%. That's huge, especially in an age now where people leave if they don't feel safe or comfortable. Now, when it comes to empathetic leadership, I'm sure we have some amazing leaders here, but one thing we're learning is that employees want to feel like they're heard. And so there are ways to build that trust by having empathetic processes, including if you have to lay people off. When you do so with empathy and without bias, one, it's better brand recognition, but also you're going to give value to that employee that may have to be transitioned out of the workforce. While this is a tough topic to talk about, over 60% of employees perceive layoffs as a bias, which means they feel like they've just been given the boot. We hear it all the time. They're unvalued, they feel unloved, and they feel like they were just not appreciated. So how can we combat that? We can prioritize practicing empathy and dignity even in the transition process. So this could boost morale, preserve employer reputation, but also the people who are still working for you guys will feel a lot more confident knowing that their friends were treated with empathy and dignity. Wow, I'm doing pretty good. I'm proud of myself. I'm a little bit ahead. So I'll wait for the next one. Okay, so you can read all this, but I just want to say, having been doing this for over 17 years, we're at 18 now, I've worked on Wall Street to Main Street. I grew up in a community where everyone was white. I was this height by the time I was 13 or 14, so I have stood out just by showing up in a room. Inclusion and making people feel like they belong matters, and it has to start from hiring, and it has to continue through retention. And if you gotta let people go, there are ways to treat people with dignity and respect. Human resources will always be human no matter how much AI we have. And I want to encourage us all to remember that we do have power to have influence starting right now. So if you have any questions on the entire process, please feel free to connect with me after. Thank you so much. Oh, and just a shout out to the young woman who's been helping us with the AV, because she had to go through a lot to get us set up. I don't know where she is, but thank you.
Thank you very much. That actually concludes the speaking portion, and I'm not happy that we're stopping with the content. I just realized I need to get new shoes and my lower back is killing me. I've been standing the whole time.